must be Wednesday, and you know what that means. Another drop for the Pink Link podcast. So come on and ride this train, true, for another level of powerful, innovative, next level conversations with the K. And today I have with me my guest Sixto Suazo, and I'm gonna let him tell you more about himself. So welcome and introduce yourself to the listeners.
Hey everybody, my name is, like she mentioned, is Sixto Suazo. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. Moved here to Atlanta, Georgia to attend college. Graduated from Clark Atlanta University. It's been a little while now. Immediately after graduating college, I jumped straight into amateur boxing. I've always wanted to compete, do boxing ever since I witnessed the first Golden Gloves back in the South Bronx PAL when I was in the Bronx. I remember going in and seeing the Golden Gloves going on. I was just so fascinated and amazed, by what they were doing. I was like, oh yeah, one day I want to do that. But, of course, growing up in the area that I grew up in, things were hard, and, my mother didn't have the resources for, to pay for me to be in a center like that, to participate in things like that. So, I just kind of let it go to the back of my mind. And so I graduated from college and, ran into hard times, ended up, staying in a friend's basement for a little while. And there was a boxing gym across the street.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off because we're gonna get into all of that. So
Yeah.
you went from wanting to box in the Bronx, and as I was reading over your bio that you sent me,
Mhm.
you know, you was a kid that wasn't up for the fight. You avoided fights, more so. So, in reading that, I was as well. You said you had to become that protector amongst your brothers and sisters because you were the eldest child, right? And you was
Mhm.
raised in a single parent home. So you said, looking at the boxing ring, across from where you live. Am I right? That's where that
Yeah,
address
where
is
I was
at.
living at in college. Yeah, looking at the boxing gym for where I lived at in college. When I was back in the Bronx, I used to, I had a job after school at the South Bronx PAL, which is the Police Athletic League. So I had a part-time job there, and they used to have the Golden Gloves there. So that's the first time I was introduced to boxing or actually witnessed it. Hmm.
Oh, and so that's where that passion started to grow for you
Yeah.
to, say this is something I think I want to get into. Though you started in corporate right after high school, you went to college and then started in the corporate world. So
Exactly.
like that's very like different from corporate to boxing, like two different worlds. So let me in
Yeah,
there.
I know. I mean, I would say the passion started way before that. I know when I was a little kid, I used to be really into video games. And one of my favorite games was Super Punch Out with Mike Tyson, where you like, being first person, we punching the Super Punch Out. And then I got Evander Holyfield boxing for Sega Genesis. And those are like my favorite games. I remember I always picked Roy Jones Jr. as my
Take me
favorite
back to
fighter.
the Sega, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, all I can
yeah.
remember is Street Fighters.
So yeah, I had the boxing games for that. So my passion started way before that. So then when I saw it, when I saw it in life and in real life, the Golden Gloves, I was like, wow, this is what it actually looks like. And then my parents being from Honduras, I think I went back there for a summer break, and I went back to Honduras, and my father took me to a boxing gym, and it was just so huge. I must have been real little because the ring looked like ginormous. It was like humongous. Like I have never seen something so big. But I do remember that vividly. Just walking into a boxing gym as a boy. Um, so yeah, like I said, that seeing it when I was seeing it in the Bronx when I was working at the Police Athletic League, kind of just brought it all back for me. So
Wow.
when I ended up in college and ended up, well, I actually ended up homeless, going through a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
yeah.
So, reading your bio, just where you came from, the single parent home, but I heard you did mention your dad, so your dad was there somewhere, but he just wasn't in the home.
So yeah,
Okay, which one of those
so
things?
my dad was in my life, I think up until I was like maybe 7 or 8. And then I
It
don't
was
know
on
what happened.
mom.
Whatever happens between grown folks, you know what I'm saying? Things ain't work out. So we end
Right.
up moving out and going back to
Right.
Honduras. And so we've basically been on our own since then. This was back in like 2000 or something like that. Because I remember
Okay.
yeah. So he was just gone. And so it was just my mother and my aunt and my little brothers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So going back, I saw what you said, about, you was mentioning the homelessness, but you also during that same time you was battling like depression and alcohol and drugs. So you use those things. Am I triggering something here?
No, no, no.
Because you going somewhere,
No,
you going
no,
somewhere.
no. I mean, you just bring
Okay,
it
we
up.
we gonna just get into it in the grace of things.
Uh-huh.
But you went through that period, and through going through those things, are you use that to fear to fear you up, to release those things in the ring? Could you inform me
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, growing up, without a father and as a child and stuff, and growing up in the South Bronx, it was a rough area, being bullied, scared, and all that. Like one biggest thing was I was the oldest. I had two little brothers, but I didn't have a father figure in the household, and I kind of had to raise myself on the streets. You know what I'm saying? People picking on me, people forced me to do things, getting with the wrong group of people, doing robberies, it's just all kind of stuff. Like just get into the wrong
Wow.
crowd because you didn't have any guidance. So I was just doing what I had to do to fit in so that people wouldn't pick on me no more. So hey, if the tough guy was going to commit petty robberies or whatever, then I was right there with them to show that I'm down so that, you know what I'm saying, they won't pick on me. So, I mean, that's kind of some of the things I used to get into.
Wow. While we on this, what would you say to someone, that's your age? What would you say to your younger self or someone else? They feel like they need to do something to fit in, and it's not the things that's good, for them to, want to fit in that group. What would you say to someone right now so we can touch on that?
That's tough because there's nothing I can say to them. I'm not like, there's nothing nobody could have said to me when I was that age because I'm living it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm living it day to day. I got to wake up. I got to go to school. I got to deal with the police. I got to walk through the streets by myself. There's nobody there with me. So there's nothing you can say to me to stop me from doing what I have to do to survive. Because at that point, it's survival.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So um, what saved me really is there was I call him my older brother now, but there was an older guy in the neighborhood kind of took me under his wing at a young age. And, you know, he started like really treating me like his little brother. He would like buy me stuff when I got good grades in school. We would hang out. He would take me to the movies and things like that just to keep me out of the street.
Well,
I
that's
would,
it. Finding
yeah,
someone who's doing something
yeah.
of the opposite.
So yeah, so it's like that's why I feel like that big brother program, big sister program they got, that's a real powerful program. You need somebody who's older to be with you, to be able to guide you, but not just talking to you.
And be a positive influence.
You need a positive influence. You need a positive role model. You need somebody like, instead, like if I'm in the house right now, I'm a young kid. I'm off for school. There's nothing else to do. I'm gonna go to the street and do what's out there. Unless I got someone older, like, nah, come on, don't go to the street. Let's go out and do this. Let's go out and get you some sneakers. Or let's go out and go to the movies. Or let's go out and hang out here. So the positive influence to kind of like take you away from what you would gravitate towards if you didn't have that influence or have that person. And it's kind of like the same thing where like if you had both parents, if I had a father and a mother, when I'm not, my mom's at work, I'll be with my father. And when my father's at work, I'll be with my mother, and we'd be doing things as kids. But growing up in South Bronx, growing up in impoverished neighborhoods, you don't never have two parents. The mom is always working 24/7. So when we get off of school, we on our own. So we got to figure it out on our own. You know what I'm saying? So that was the difference between me and maybe people who grew up in two-parent homes or healthy families and things like that, where the father and the mother does things with them when there's no, because the free time is the devil's playground is what I heard. So yeah, and
Yes, it is. It is. Especially for a kid with no guidance.
mm-hmm.
But through going through that experience that you had to go through, it's like it made you who you are today.
Yeah,
Like As they say, I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now, because if I hadn't went through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today because of those experiences. So that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean everything that I've been through, everything that happened. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. It needed to happen to make me who I am today. It's what fuels me in the ring. It's what fuels me at work. It was fuels me on a day to day. What pushes me to get up every morning and go through the grueling workouts. Waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to run 6 7 miles. You know what I'm saying? To get in there, get school.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, that's what fuels you. Because just remembering that, remember where you came from, and knowing how far you came, and you don't want to go back there. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do what you gotta do to keep it going. So
Let's go back.
yeah.
Let's go back. So you run 6 or 7 miles daily at 4 a.m. or is it 5 days,
I
4 days?
mean,
Fill me in there.
it's I've been doing this for 10 years. So
Wow.
yeah, right now, like it's kind of dialed down a little bit now. Now I do like 3 or 4 days a week where I'll do 4 to 5 miles. But it's been instances where I'll do 10 miles every morning before going to work. Yeah. Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, it's been instances where I do 7 miles, 8 miles. Well, I did a
The
16 miles
grind.
one day, so I'm just trying to figure out what works best for me. And, you know what I'm saying? What keeps me in shape. So it's just constant experimentation with different miles, different times. Is it better to run early in the morning? Is it better to run late at night? So I done switched it up. So I done all kinds of things when it
Wow.
comes to this. Yeah.
So when we talk about that, now I'm kind of like interested in your diet to stay in shape for, you mean, don't you have to meet like measurements or weight
Yeah.
to in the
Yeah,
ring?
that's
So
so that's
what
another
you
thing.
eating?
Yeah, that's another thing I've been experimenting with. So, running late at night as opposed to running early in the morning. Same thing with food. I was even vegan at one point. I went vegan for like a year and a half. So, to see how that would affect my performance. So I did that for a year and a half, and it worked out. But it was tough because there's a lot of things that you can't eat and risks that you can and things like that. So I mean, my diet right now is basically, I got a list of things that I shouldn't eat, like cakes, cookies, candy, um, you know, certain kind of breads. I only eat whole wheat bread. I don't eat no white bread, no rye bread, none of that stuff. Only brown rice, anything brown, so no white rice, no white potatoes. Um, so everything's got to be brown. Basically, I got a regimen. Every morning, I'll have me a whole wheat biscuit with egg whites and turkey sausage, and then with some whole wheat cereal like Fiber One. And then for lunch,
Oh wow. So
I have me brown rice
okay.
and grilled chicken. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll have me a oatmeal before the gym, and then that'll be my last meal for the day. I don't eat late at night because I don't want no fat, because when you eat late at night, that's when your body stores fat. So that's why a lot of boxers like to run in the morning, because you burn through a lot of that stored fat that you had over the night when you run in the morning before eating breakfast. But since
Oh
I
wow.
stopped eating after 5, I really burn all that fat during my gym session in the evening, like 6 o'clock, from like 6 to 8. I burn through all that. So when I go to sleep on an empty stomach. I'm not really worrying about getting up in the morning and run that fat off. So I burned it the night before in the gym.
Okay, so the discipline. Let's
Yeah.
get into that. Where does that mindset of discipline come from? Of you tell me, I don't want to answer the question. So where does
hmm
that come from?
I really don't know. Where does it come from? I can't say where it comes from. I just know. Yeah, that's a really tough question to answer. Where does it come from? I don't know where it comes from, but I just know
Is
I
it
got to do it.
the reward, or just
Oh
the
yeah, you
overall?
know what? You know what it really is? Is the profession I'm in as a professional boxer. When I get in the ring, I got to get in the ring in front of thousands, millions of people who watch me, perform. And my biggest fear is getting knocked out in front of all these people talking about me, or something like that. Or me looking bad in front of all these people. So that's what pushes me.
Right.
That's
So you know that
Mhm.
doing these exercises, waking up at 4 a.m., eating what you need, that this is going to help aid in what you're gonna do once you get in that ring.
Right.
So that's why you do it.
Exactly. That's why I do the hard work now. So that it's one of our sayings at our gym is hard work, easy work. You do the hard work now so that later on, you know what I'm saying, when you get in the ring, the fight will be easy. You know what I'm saying? So I go through all the sacrifice and everything in the dark behind the lights so that when I'm in the lights, you know what I'm saying, I already did all the hard work. There's no, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing they could throw at me that's going to stop me because I already put myself through all that stuff before I even got in.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I love it. So, I see you made your pro debut in January of 2019. So, leading up to that, I guess you was doing what you was just saying, the prepping, the food, the training. So, when you stepped in the ring, was that the first time, and what was going through your mind, on your pro debut?
I mean, though, I mean, it's like I said, I've been in the amateur since 2013. So it was just, it was just another day another day when I got into that ring to ring. The only difference is that the gloves were smaller and I ain't have no headgear. And there's always people watching you, because even the amateurs, you got people watching you, but it was all about me that night. Like, and I knew that pro was a big step. So, once I got past those nerves, once I threw that first punch, everything else was just a walk in the park because I've done it so many times before in the amateurs, and that's why the amateurs are so important, because that's like the training wheels for the professional world. Like if you never did amateurs, I don't recommend that you even step into the pros, because you don't know what it feels. You never had that feeling. You never competed. Like even in the amateurs, I didn't compete at the highest levels. I made it to the championships in Salt Lake City, Utah. I got ranked number 5 in the world, or the country, as a in the 165-pound division. So I done been under the bright lights. I done felt the pressure. Yeah, I had a headgear on, which was kind of like training wheels. So when I got to the pros, especially my first fight, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't no pressure that I haven't experienced before. It wasn't nothing I've never seen. I fought some of the top amateurs when I was an amateur. So this no name pro that I'm fighting, should be a walk in the park to me. It shouldn't be nothing. So it was just dealing with the transition, you know, the no gloves, the headgear, just psychological stuff. But once you get past all that, it was just,
It was
it
like
was the
you
same
was
thing I've been
crawling before you started walking, per se. You had
through.
already been, preparing
Yeah,
for the bigger.
I already, yeah, exactly. I already been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I already been like, so
Okay.
it was just a matter of just taking the training wheels off now. Hmm.
Right. So, before each fight, what is it you do mental wise to prepare? Are you listen to music? What music you listen to? Are you listen to motivation? What is it that you're doing so before you step into that ring, you just knock them out?
Yeah, I won't give away none of my secrets now, but I got
Okay.
a, I got a whole routine. I'm not like I'm a strong believer in manifestation, and so like I mean I do this daily, but especially before a fight, I visualize. I close my eyes and I see myself performing. I see myself doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just see the whole fight from the beginning to the end. See myself winning, see myself, my hand being raised, to simulate the fight as best as I can in my mind before I even step in that ring.
I love
And
it.
I do that a lot leading up to it. I got my affirmations as well. I do my prayers. So, so it's affirmations, envisioning. I do my journaling. I like to journal every morning and stuff. Say what I'm grateful for, because I noticed that when you're grateful for things, you attract more things that you can be grateful for. So I do that. Then I meditate as well. Just close my eyes, just try to calm my mind, make sure I can hear my internal thoughts. Because when you're in there, you got all these people screaming, you got your coach screaming directions at you. Really, you got to be able to listen to your internal, listen to what comes from deep down inside, and be able to like what I'm saying.
Yes.
So
Yes. So it's like before you put yourself out there in front of all these people, and I kind of say this, you have to start with you mentally and inner before
mhm.
all of that out of there. That way you're able to still maneuver and control what it is you're doing, it's and not letting the outside noise distract you. You know,
Right.
so that's what it seems
I
like for
believe,
in
I
all those
believe,
things going is very beneficial.
yeah, I believe you can see it inside, you could obtain it without, you know what I'm saying? Or, you gotta be able to see, you gotta be able to see it with your eyes closed before you can see it with your eyes open, whatever. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So now let's get into the wins. So how many wins have you had? I mean, I've counted some of them. So fill me in again.
Yeah, so I got 9 professional wins right now. I'm going for my 10th professional win. Yeah, I'm going for my 10th win this
Congrats.
Sunday. Yeah, thank you. I'll be having I'll be going, excuse me, I'll be going for my 10th professional win, uh, December 19th of this year. And I'll be competing for the UBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. So this is
Okay,
my,
well, fill us in on that. Fill us in on this. When is you said December the 19th, right?
yeah, so it's gonna be Sunday, December 19th. So it's, doors open around 7 p.m. And like I said, I'll be fighting for the UBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. So I
Wow,
need I
that's
need everybody
big.
to come out. Yeah, that is big. So I need
I need
everybody
to
to come
open
out.
my schedule.
Yeah. I need everybody to come out because this is this is big. This is a huge step in my career, and I'm looking to put the best performance I've ever put on. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it will mean the world to
He
me.
puts on a great performance, you all. I mean, most recent fight. I mean, it was like, wow, you did your thing. Like, if you like, if this, he introduced really me to boxing. Like, I used to clean for Sixto. That's how I know him. And he was like, "Hey, come support me." I was like, "Okay, yeah." And so I went to a couple of them, but the last one, I mean, like, I'm just like, oh, MG. Like each one, you've gotten better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the growth with you in the ring. Like it's amazing to watch and see, your growth. And now when the next fight you have coming up. So I really knew nothing about boxing, but what I seen on pay-per-view, and I didn't watch it when I was growing up. But it really like has me loving boxing. So if you haven't saw boxing in person or you don't think you would like boxing, just check it out. And I'm telling you, when you go, you're gonna be like, oh wow, I could do this. Like this is nice. This is fun. Like it's really, like seeing people go at it, like it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely experience, and I've gotten the same reaction from a lot of people, especially because me being the first boxer they actually met and me actually introducing them to that experience. It's like, wow, I never like, you know what I'm saying, I never thought it could be like that. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely an experience that if you never had it, something you should definitely um, take part in. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this before we even close out this. So you going for this big thing in December. Um, what do you see yourself in this boxing field in 5 years? Would you say? What do you see yourself in boxing in 5 years?
5 years, I see myself holding one of the major titles: WBC champion, IBF, IBO, and really making a statement in this game. Yeah, I got a late start, um, but showing the youth, showing people, especially kids from where I came from, kids that see me now, that anything is possible um, when you believe and when you work hard. And no matter how you started or where you came from, you can be something. You can do something. You just got to believe it, and you just got to make a decision. That's one of my favorite Will Smith quotes. It's like, um, just decide who you want to be,
Yeah.
what you want to do, how you want to do it. Just decide, and the universe will get out your way. Yeah. So.
I mean, you really just answered my next question. Like, I was about to ask you what you say today to the listeners. Like, you answered it. Wow, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
it's like you reading my thoughts over here. But
Mhm.
so with that, I would like to say and give you all this today. Um, always, be mindful of what it is you're thinking about yourself because how you think is how you feeling. And if you're gonna manifest and create the life you want, all of that plays a part in your life as well. So always be in tune to how you feeling, and it's gonna let you know how you're thinking. So you can create those great things. If you're feeling bad, start changing your thoughts, start
Right.
manifesting, start journaling, like the good brother said.
Mhm.
To create and visualize something better for your life. Because when you feeling out of balance, it's because how you're thinking. You're thinking out of balance. So, you know, I mean, rewatch, rewind, and take out those gems that Sixto has dropped today, and let them know how they can follow you on social media and things of that nature.
Yeah, so you can follow me on all social media. I really implore you to follow me on Instagram. That's when you get all the updates. I'm really active on Instagram when it comes to my career. So you can find, the events, posts, upcoming things that I'm doing. You find it on Instagram. My handle is King62U. So that's King SIX, the number 2, then the letter U. So that's KINGSIX, the number 2, letter U. I'm also on Facebook, uh, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok under that same handle, King62U. You can actually type it in Google, and I'm pretty sure all that stuff will come up as well.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
drop it in the description box below as well. I'm gonna drop it in the description box. So y'all, we're gonna make it easy for you. So if you can't, if you can't just go, type it in,
just
look in
hit the
your
link.
description
Right,
box and it's gonna be there for you.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I thank you once again, Sixto, for coming on to the Pink Link podcast. Just sharing your time with us, dropping those gems. Is there anything else you want to give us today before we even close it out? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I just implore you, if you never had a chance to experience professional boxing, come out December 19th. It's going to be in the Briarcliff area. That's North Atlanta at the Marriott. It's definitely I mean, yeah, like if you never experienced boxing, if this is your first experience, I recommend it. Um, I recommend you come out and check it out because this is not no experience like anything else. I mean, I've been to some boxing events where it's that's like some rink and dink club or but this right here is really plush. It's really professional environment. Family can come out. We recommend kids, whatever. Just bring out the entire family and come really enjoy a nice plush night of professional boxing. So I implore you, if you've never been to a professional boxing event, December 19th, I'm pretty sure the link will be in this podcast as well. But yeah, just come out and enjoy your night.
yes, y'all. I kid you not, you would not regret it. It is. You're gonna be like, oh wow, when is the next event? I asked you that, right? I was like, when
Yeah,
your next boxing?
yeah, yeah.
So, this, I mean, support the good brother and go out December 19th. As he said, I'm gonna drop all those details in the description box below, so you don't have to worry about how you're gonna find it because it's gonna be in the description box. So, also, let me tell you this: do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. Like, support your girl. And I apologize if I'm looking a little blurry today on my screen, but hey,
And
it's gonna be worth it
yeah,
out.
we made it work, right? We
Have a
got it
great
done.
one,
We got it
and
done.
blessings on blessings.
Well,
Thank you
yeah,
for inviting me.
absolutely. And thank you for having me on your podcast. I wish you all the best. And yeah, look forward to seeing you
Thank
soon.
you.
All right.